Hello everybody, welcome again today to my second video of the day and the 12th video of the podcast. Now I'm gonna break down the most recent game 4 of the NBA Finals, which again took place at TD Bank Garden between, of course, the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors tied the series with a win in this game to tie the series 2-all and steal back home court advantage. Behind the greatest shooter ever, Stephen Curry III, delivering his best game of his career with 43 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 14 of 26 field goals, 7 of 14 from 3, 8 of 9 from free throw. This man is the second oldest player ever to drop 40 points in a finals game, only behind LeBron James. And with all the talk, everyone's saying, oh, the man doesn't have a finals MVP. When it matters most in the finals, he doesn't show up, blah, blah, blah. Well, sorry to you all. If the Warriors win this championship, you guys will have to eat your words, along with my dear friend Nandan, the rest of you all on TV, you clowns, you fools, and all the Warrior hater fans around will have to apologize to this man. Either way, let's get into it. So, of course, the Boston Celtics win the first quarter. It's a trend, isn't it? The Boston Celtics always start off better than the Warriors. Jason Tatum in the first quarter, had it going. The man had 7 or 9 points, if I recall, in the first quarter. And it was not just him. Jaylen Brown also had it going. He did everything in the first quarter. He scored, he rebounded, he passed, and he drew fouls, headed to the free throw line in the first quarter. And he was banging threes on the Warriors' head. Meanwhile, for the Warriors, I just talked about Stephen Curry. He started off strong in the first quarter itself. In the first quarter, this man had, 12 points. He did everything he can to make sure the Warriors are hanging on, and he did everything he can the whole game to make sure they don't go down 3-1. Because if they did, he knew the Warriors weren't gonna win. Man, Patrick Beverley is a goated analyst, though he recently joined. This man said, even though Steph Curry may have a small injury, he'll shrug it off, and he might have the best game of the finals, and arguably his career. Well, Pat Bev was spot on. This man's gonna have more viewers on TV thanks to his prediction, which came true. Anyway, let's get out of there. Yes, sir. Stephen Curry also is tied with Kobe Bryant for 5th in most 30-point games in NBA Finals history. Yet people say he's a terrible Finals player. So far for the series, Stephen Curry is averaging 35 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, around 6 or 7 assists per game, on 50-something% from the field, 45% from 3, 87% from the free throw line, almost 50-40-90 at the age of 34. This man's doing everything. Klay Thompson had a decent game. 7 of 17 ain't decent. 4 of 10, he can do better. 18 plus 2. But when it mattered most in the fourth, he showed up. And in the second quarter, the Boston Celtics took advantage of all the Warriors' weaknesses. I hinted out Draymond Green. He had impact this time. He only had 3 fouls. He had 8 assists, 9 rebounds. But again, 2 points, 1 of 7 field goals. The few Draymond chants were heard around the stadium when he drove on one play and was blocked by Al Horford. And the Boston Celtics, they kept switching Steph Curry onto Marcus Smart, and then Marcus Smart would just drive into him and score inside. Jaylen Brown would do the same, attack the rim, make his presence felt, and scored. And so would Jason Tatum. Meanwhile, Robert Williams III, he had 12 rebounds. He also made it look so easy to score or block anyone. Sometimes Stephen Curry would have to shoot the highest of floaters just to not get blocked by him, or even the longest of floaters. As always, how many blocks did the man have? The man had 2 blocks. Typical Robert Williams, he can do it in his sleep. And Al Horford had 8 points, 2 of 6 field goals, 2 of 6 from 3. They limited him this time, though he had a clutch 3 in the 4th. The Warriors did a good job of limiting that. That could have been deadly for the Warriors. Anyway, the third quarter, Warriors showed up. Stephen Curry, as always in the third quarter, is the best player in the NBA. He did his most damage in the game from the third. By the end of the third, the man had 36 points. He had like 13 in the fourth, 11 to 13 if I recall. Stephen Curry did everything. This man would just keep swishing and he couldn't miss. But he didn't have enough help. Everyone was a little inconsistent with their scoring. As a result, even after 3, after 3 the Warriors led, but only by 1. And then by the fourth quarter, Stephen Curry was having his rest. And then the Boston Celtics slowly started taking a lead. The Warriors kept tying it, but they could not cling on to the lead. It went to a point where Steve Kerr in the 9-minute mark had to get Steph Curry back because he couldn't go down 3-1 with his best player being sit out for a long stretch. So then that happened. Meanwhile, some credit to Andrew Wiggins here. This man had 17 points, 16 rebounds, the most he ever had in any game of his career. His highest before this was 11. This man has 16 rebounds. He did it in the biggest game of his career. That also helped in the Warriors not going down 3-1. Initially, Steve Kerr made a terrible plan. He started with a small lineup of Curry, Thompson, Porter, Wiggins, Green, but he realized they were a minus 60. They realized how it was not working. So first thing he did was subbed out Porter, got in Kevon Looney, and Kevon Looney did his thing. 6 points, including a clutch basket in the fourth, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, plus 21. This time no one in the Warriors had foul trouble. But still, in the fourth, there was a point in time with 5 minutes left in the game, the Warriors were trailing by 5. It looked like if they don't make a run here, their season could be done because none of us think they could come back from 3-1. Though it happens, but it's only happened once in 2016. Don't want to talk about it. But then what happened? Steve Kerr came up with the best coaching decision to save his team's season. This was a big gamble. He knew the risks in this, but he took the gamble. He knew the risks that if it doesn't work, they'll be down 3-1. Yet he did it. At the 7-minute mark, he took Draymond Green out and he subbed Jordan Poole and Kevon Looney in. And he took Bjelica along with Green out. Credit to Bjelica. He was able to stay in front of Tatum in 3 possessions. This entire series, he's forced 4 turnovers on Tatum. Tatum hasn't scored once on Bjelica. And as a result, he got in Jordan Poole in. He started going with this kind of thing like whenever they're on offense, he'll go with Poole along with Curry, Thompson, Wiggins, and Looney. And whenever on defense, he takes out Poole, gets Green back in. He did it in such a way that they don't lose their timeouts. Green said he was shocked and was upset, but he said his teammates calmed him down, and then he showed the character of a true leader that I'm struggling on offense. I'm not able to get shots up against his defense. Jordan has 14. He's having a great offensive game when we needed it. Let him do the damage on offense. And guess what? It worked. Credit to Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr deserves a lot of credit for such a decision. It was a risky one, but he took it. As a result, it worked. And then eventually, whenever Green got back in the game, when it mattered most, he had clutch plays. In one, Klay Thompson missed an open three. Draymond got an offensive rebound. He kicked it to Steph Curry with an assist, and Steph Curry hit a dagger. Then afterwards, and then that time the Warriors went up 6. Then the Boston Celtics, immediately after timeout, they give it to Horford. He hits a quick 3, answer back, 3-point game. Then later, I think who was it? I think Andrew Wiggins set a screen for Steph Curry. They blitzed Curry. Green started cutting to the rim. Something he didn't do the entire damn game. He finally did it. Green cut to the rim, found an opening, and then he minused it to Kevon Looney for a pass. Looney hit a layup to cut the lead increase the lead to 5. And then here is where Klay Thompson gets credit. Apart from his 8 points in the fourth, he made clutch defensive plays on Jaylen Brown. In one possession, he managed to block Jaylen Brown, and then later on, in another possession, when it matters most in Boston's chance to somehow stay in the game in such a way they can still win, Klay Thompson forced Jaylen Brown to dribble out of bounds off his leg, and as a result, Warrior ball. The only thing they could do is foul, and the Warriors won the game. Credit to Klay Thompson, man. He showed glimpses of the lockdown defender he is. Meanwhile, team stats. What we know is the Warriors won points in the paint, and we know that they had more rebounds than the Boston Celtics. Kudos to Wiggins, Curry, Green, and Looney for pulling it off. Despite having to go against that size, they never gave up. And Wiggins had 2 clutch offensive rebounds and a putback. Kudos to the Warriors, man. Kudos. Man, the Kendrick Perkins jinx worked. Every time Kendrick Perkins says stuff about Draymond Green, the Warriors immediately respond and win. Draymond may have struggled on offense, but his impact was felt. Whoever these clowns are who are saying trade Draymond, you guys don't know what GSW culture is. You don't know what the GSW dynasty is about. 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals. That tells a story. And he played clutch defense as well. He did the other dirty things we needed. He's more than just his stats. Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum was 8 of 23. The man only had 3 points in the fourth quarter, which was at the 10-minute mark. This entire series, Tatum's averaging 22 points per game on 34% from the field. This man is struggling. Issue with Tatum is, rather than absorbing contact going into the bigs, he's trying to go away from the bigs and finish a layup. Those are low percentage shots. You make them sometimes, but you can't make them all the time. Sorry, my man. And then Jaylen Brown in the fourth quarter, he did his ridiculous ball handling, had 3 turnovers, including the costly one I just mentioned about Klay Thompson forcing him out of bounds. And then overall, the Boston offense became stagnant. All they kept doing is jacking up threes. Even when they weren't going in, Marcus Smart did that twice, Jason Tatum did it twice, Jaylen Brown did it once. You guys were doing your best when you guys were driving to the rim. That applies pressure on the Warriors' defense against you guys. You should realize that. Instead, you're shooting all jumpers. And they weren't going in. The Warriors put pressure on you guys on offense. And then you guys couldn't score. Result, last 5 minutes, when you guys are up 5, the Warriors go on a 17-3 run. And they end up winning the game. On your home court. Chance to go up 3-1. You lose the game. The Warriors steal home court advantage back. And then you guys lost on the boards again. And then you guys are struggling to defend Steph Curry in the pick and roll. I think at a point in time, you guys are going to have to go to a decision that whenever whenever Curry is going to pick and roll action, we should triple team him and force someone not named Curry to beat us. Because as you saw what the man did today, you saw that he made sure you guys don't go up 3-1. And you lost on your home court, gave them back home court advantage. Now you have to go to Chase Center and win another game, which is a daunting task. While your road record may be 10-3, their home record is 10-1. And they're gonna make sure they win at all costs at Chase Center. I'm sorry to say, Golden State, you guys better not go to Boston down 3-2, because you know that hostile crowd, how they're gonna come at you guys. You know what they're gonna do. You know how that crowd is like. That crowd is very hostile. They're gonna boo you guys as hard as you can. I know Klay Thompson didn't like it. Draymond Green didn't like it. Klay Thompson better play the best game of his season. Maybe best game is a little over exaggeration, but he better play a great game now. It's time for him to help Steph Curry a little more. He knows it. He took a dip in the Bay Area Bay. He did that to, like, I guess, relax his mind, because as you know, ocean helps relax your mind. I guess he's doing that to, like, relax his mind from the game during his off time. Meanwhile, Draymond Green, you might have more openings to score if they start blitzing Steph Curry by triple teaming him. Meanwhile, I'll tell you the board stats now. Offensive rebounds, Golden State 16, Boston 11. Defensive rebounds, Golden State 39, Boston 31. Overall rebounds, 55-42. 55-42 won by the Warriors, though the Boston Celtics have 2 7-foot players and a 6'9" player in Jason Tatum, whereas for the Warriors, their tallest players, Kevon Looney. Second tallest is Andrew Wiggins, 6'8". You guys lost the boards. Part of that may be the long rebounds, because you know Golden State shoots from the 3, but you guys lost the boards. Points in the paint, Golden State 38, Boston 32. Boston, you may have to fight as hard as they are for the boards. Maybe then you guys can win on the boards. Meanwhile, for the Warriors, make sure you don't lose at Chase Center. They're going to come out hard. They're 7-0 following a loss. And more than anything, they would like to steal back home court. If you lose at Chase Center going to Boston, all pressure's on you. I know your experience will tell you that, but you guys should know it. Steph Curry, I like what this man's doing. It's a guarantee that if the Warriors win, he's going to get a Finals MVP finally. The entire world wants to see it. We know he deserves it. So as you know, everyone wants the Warriors to win. And as for Boston, they need to do something about Steph Curry soon. Plus, I don't think it's ideal to play two bigs when it matters most, even though that helps in boards. When it comes to guarding Curry in the pick and roll, he's only going to take advantage of it. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Tomorrow, I don't know who's going to win. Now, Sportsbook has the Warriors as 3.5 favorites. Because they have home court tomorrow now. They stole back home court advantage. That's all I can say. Another thing, shout out to Gary Payton II. 5 points, 2 of 3 field goals. Playing great defense. And in one possession where he had an open 3, he saw Steph Curry running. Instead, he kicked it to Steph Curry, set a screen for him, and he let Curry shoot the 3. And Curry started off 2 of 8 from 3, but he finished the game. But after the 2 of 8, he went 5 of 6 from 3. Hopefully Steph Curry continues his form. We love seeing Steph Curry like this. If Klay Thompson gets going soon, then who knows how deadly it'll be to face the Warriors. Boston has a lot of things to figure out. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Anyway, thank you guys if you come this far. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments. Have a great day. Our Insta handles will be there below. Have a great day. See you later.